everyone, this is Kazakh Aliyahu Yasharal here from Just a Word, and here with another video in our series as we are looking into the true land of Yasharal, the true land that they call Israel today. And in our series we have already looked at the land of briars and thorns, and also the fact that the land will be desolate in the end. But today we want to look at Abraham, because there are many people who have gone to different countries in Africa, and there are many people over in Egypt and Jordan, I think, who believe that they must be near to that land they call Israel, because they believe that land called Israel is the land. But the Most High, his ways are not our ways. And we want to look at what he did with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to see a pattern that if that is repeated, many people will be deceived into thinking that they are at the right place. Because the land called Israel, that they call Israel today, it is very hard to enter into that land as a resident. Now, with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he just told them to go into the land. That means to me that, considering there's nothing new under the sun, and let's look at that in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us. So we believe that what the Most High will be doing in the end is what has been done before. So with Abraham, he told him to go into a land. With us here in our Just a Word group, he just told us to go into a land. Now, if there were so many hurdles to get into the land, then I don't think that would be the land. So for example, to get into Israel, not very easy, because they do not want foreigners, and we hear all the while of people who are trying to get in and to stay, and they do not want them to stay. Now, for us, as we said, the Most High just told us to just get up and go to South Africa. What did he say to Abraham? Genesis 12, 1 and 4 to 6. Now Yahuwah had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. Same thing he said to us, in other words, in different words. So Abram departed, as Yahuwah had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. And Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. And into the land of Canaan they came. And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Sichem, unto the plain of Moreh, and the Canaanite was then in the land. So same way us came a different place and we passed through. And we are in a huge plain. This plain is so big, I'm wondering, is this a plain of Moreh? What if the Most High is doing the exact same thing with Abraham or Abram as he did with us, in having us in the plain of Moreh? That would be too much, wouldn't it? Anyway, he did the same thing with Jacob. Genesis 37:1. And Jacob dwelt in the land where his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan, or Canaan. Also, Isaac did the same thing. Then Jacob rose up and set his sons and his wives upon camels, and he carried away all his cattle and all his goods which he had gotten, the cattle of his getting which he had gotten in Padan Aram, for to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. All of them dwelt in the land of Canaan. So, in the book of Hebrews, it is very profound because this is telling me that this is probably what the Most High has done. And here is what the writer of Hebrews said. By Amanah, or faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out not knowing whither he went. This is the same thing that happened here at Just a Word. We obeyed, not knowing why we're going there, what is going to happen to us there, anything at all. We just went. And notice what it says. Into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance. So Abraham was brought into the land that he was to inherit. And let's see what happened after that. By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles or tents with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. And people, this is the same thing that is happening with us here, with families here. All right? Some dwell in tents with their families, just as Abraham did. Yeah? And we did not do this to follow Abraham. We did it, and then when the revelation came to us, we realized that that was what we were doing. Yeah? This is the exact same thing that's happening to us. All right? So these are things why I tell you we believe that we are in the land. Because we did these things not knowing why we did them. Then when we saw the word, we were like, whoa, but this is what we're doing. Yeah? Hebrews 11 verse 10. For he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is Allah. That is the same thing that we are doing. The word says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and save every man his soul. And we decide that we are going to flee out of the midst of Babylon, not knowing where we are going or what's going to happen to us. Okay? Verse 14. For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. So we're like strangers and pilgrims seeking a country. Now, verse 14 is a very powerful verse. If you look at the last part of verse 13 says, these all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. The people of Emunah, the people of faith, are going to be those who confess that they are strangers and pilgrims on the earth, willing to be like the children of Israel, to be taken to and fro by the Most High. Now verse 14 says, for they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. Now the word says, without emunah, without faith, it is impossible to please the Most High. The Most High is looking for a people who are seeking a country. That is, willing to leave the country from where they are actually living to go and be as strangers and pilgrims somewhere else, not knowing where they are going like Abraham, in limbo like Abraham, a stranger in a land like Abraham, because they are seeking a country whose builder and maker is Yahuwah. Now, when the word says flee out of the midst of Babylon, and people refuse to come out of Babylon, say they're waiting in Babylon, refusing to flee, they are declaring that they do not seek a country. They are comfortable in the country in which they are scattered or in which they live. But to those who will be given the country, it will be those who are willing to leave the country in which they dwell. to be like Abraham and go into a country that they don't even know where they're going. And that's what has happened to us. We were told to go somewhere, and we go. And like Abraham, I believe that he has brought us into the land which we are to inherit. Yes? As he goes to prepare the way for for us to inherit that land. That is what has happened, just as happened with Abraham. So the question is, are you seeking a country? Are you willing to be strangers and pilgrims in a land that you do not know? Are you willing to be like Abraham, to leave and not know where you're going? Because these are the people who will inherit the promises. These are the people of faith, of Emunah. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. So we cannot look back on where we're coming from. But now they desire a better country that is unheavenly. Wherefore, Alua is not ashamed to be called their Alua, for he hath prepared for them a city. And this is the city that we seek, the city of Jerusalem, prepared of Alua. Yeah, this is the same thing that has happened to us, people. And in the book of Ezekiel 20:33 to 36, he told us, As I live, saith Yahuwah Alua, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people, and I will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. That's what he has done. He has gathered us out of the different countries where we were scattered. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. That's what he did with Abraham, Ishaq, and Jacob. They all had different experiences with the people in the land in which they went to sojourn. Yes? This is the wilderness of the people. And that is what we are in now, having different experiences and our people being purged as the Most High promised. It says, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Mitzrayim, so will I plead with you, saith Yahuwah, Alua. But he says, into the wilderness of the people. So just as he brought Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob into the land of Canaan, the land that they were to inherit as the land of Yasharal, it is the same thing that he is doing with us today. Yeah? So that is why we believe that we are in the ancient land of Canaan, the land of Yasharal. And they remember back in the days of Abraham, that land was not yet called Yasharal. That land was called the land of Canaan or Canaan. Likewise, this land today is not called the land of Yasharal. It's called something else. Yeah? It spreads, I believe it spreads across at least 3 different countries. South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, probably Zimbabwe as well, Zambia, who knows how far it spreads. But today, it has different names. It is not called the land of Yasharal. So, we are told to sojourn here. We believe it is exactly the same thing that happened with Abraham, that has happened to us. All right? So, stay tuned to another of our episodes, and we'll show you where we believe the biblical Jerusalem or Jerusalem actually is. All right? So, this is Kazakh Eliyahu Yasharal as we continue our series looking into the true land of Yasharal, into the great deception. Just stay with us as we continue to dig and to show what has been revealed to us. Until next time, shalom, and keep watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Please share and comment, please, on these videos so we can get them to move in the algorithm so they can be seen. All right? Until next time, shalom.